The merciless sun of Georgia summer 1832 hung like a judgment in the cloudless sky, its heat pressing down on the hawthorn breeding farm until the very air seemed to shimmer with cruelty. Cotton fields stretched endlessly, white bowls glowing against dark earth like false promises of purity in a place soaked in violation. The distant whip-crack echoed, not once, but rhythmically, a metronome of terror that set every enslaved heart beating faster. Adira walked the rows with the mechanical grace of someone who had long ago learned to separate body from mind. At 28, her frame was lean, hardened by labor, her skin the deep color of polished walnut, scarred faintly across her shoulders from childhood punishments she no longer remembered in detail. But her eyes, those eyes, were different. Dark, almost black, they moved like trapdoors, calm on the surface, ready to snap shut on any weakness, any opening, any hope of survival. She counted silently as her fingers worked the plants. 23 steps to the water barrel. 14 minutes until Samuel Drake would finish his circuit and turn north again. 7 seconds longer today. He had paused to spit tobacco under the live oak. Every deviation, every tiny fracture in routine she catalogued, not out of idle curiosity, out of necessity, because one day, maybe tomorrow, maybe never, these fragments would become the map out of hell. 30 paces left, Zora moved like a woman carrying invisible chains heavier than iron. 32 years old, once tall and strong, now bent inward by grief and recent childbirth. Her dress, threadbare and sweat-dark, clung to her body. Each time she bent to pick, pain flashed across her face, sharp, involuntary. The baby had come 4 days earlier in the breeding shed, under lantern light and the indifferent gaze of Mrs. Thompson. A boy, small, feverish from the beginning. Zora had held him through the night, singing the softest lullabies she knew, the ones her own mother sang in Virginia before the auction block tore them apart. Now the infant lay in the quarters, breathing shallow, fighting a battle he was too tiny to understand. Lyra worked the row between them, 26, taller than most men on the place, shoulders broad from years of lifting, pulling, surviving. Thick rope scars circled her wrists like permanent bracelets, deeper welts crisscrossed her back beneath the dress. She never spoke of how she got them. Everyone knew anyway, Mississippi, an overseer. A moment when patience finally snapped. She had not killed him cleanly. That was the rumor. The plantation had sold her south rather than hang her, cheaper that way. Her hands never stopped moving through the cotton, but her eyes burned, always burning. "Move faster," Samuel Drake's voice rolled across the field like distant thunder. He swaggered between rows, whip coiled at his hip like a living thing. New to Hawthorne, already hated. He liked to pause beside the pregnant women, let his gaze linger on swollen bellies, smile with yellowed teeth. "You ain't earnin' your keep, girl," he drawled toward Zora. Zora flinched. The motion was small, almost invisible, but Adira saw it. Lyra saw it. 3 more minutes, Adira thought. 3 more minutes and he turns. Zora stumbled. A single cotton bowl slipped from her fingers. "Please," she breathed toward Adira, so low it was almost lost in the wind. "Water." Adira didn't turn her head. "Quiet, he's looking." Drake's boots crunched closer. The whip uncoiled slightly, swaying. Zora straightened with visible effort, face blank again, but her hands trembled. In that moment, between one breath and the next, something shifted inside the 3 women. Not words, not a plan spoken aloud, just a glance that lasted half a second longer than usual. One glance, and everything changed. The day crawled forward, each hour heavier than the last. At dusk, the women were herded back to the quarters, low, sagging cabins with dirt floors and roofs that leaked even when it hadn't rained in weeks. Zora leaned on Adira the whole way, steps uneven. Lyra walked behind them, eyes sweeping the horizon like a sentry. Inside their shared cabin, the single candle threw long, wavering shadows. Zora knelt beside the pallet where the baby lay. His breathing was a thin, wet rattle now. Adira wet a rag in the bucket, pressed it gently to the tiny forehead. Lyra paced, 3 steps, turn, 3 steps, turn. Near midnight, the rattle stopped. Silence fell, deeper than silence, the kind of quiet that swallows sound and leaves only grief. Zora's wail began low, animal, then rose until it filled the cabin, the quarters, perhaps the whole cursed farm. Boots outside, door kicked open. Drake stood framed in moonlight, lantern swinging. What's this goddamn racket? Zora clutched the still form to her chest. Tears carved clean tracks through the dust on her face. My baby's gone. Drake laughed, a short, ugly sound. Shame. Guess we'll move you up the breeding schedule then. Can't have idle wombs talkin' up space. Lyra lunged. Adira caught her wrist, hard. Their eyes met. Not yet. Drake kicked at Zora's skirt. Got a buyer already, big man out of Macon. Likes 'em fresh after a loss, says it makes 'em grateful. He turned, laughing again as he left. The door slammed. In the sudden dark, Zora rocked back and forth, empty arms crossed over her chest. Thunder growled far away. First raindrops tapped the roof. Then more. Then a deluge. The storm roared, masking every sound. Adira leaned close to the others. Her whisper was calm, certain. Tomorrow night we move. Lightning flashed. In that brief white glare, 3 faces were illuminated, not broken, not defeated. Transformed. Dawn came gray and dripping. The farm smelled of wet earth and wetter misery. Adira stood by the doorway before first light, watching shift change. Guard Thompson, lazy, always 5 minutes late, lit his pipe behind the smokehouse. Billy, the boy with the limp, dragged his left foot along the east fence line. Every detail another coin in the purse of freedom. Inside, Lyra worked by feel in the dark. Metal scraped metal, a broken file, a plow shard, a nail pulled from the wall weeks ago. Edges kissed stone until they sang. Zora moved through morning chores like a ghost, carried water to the big house, past Mrs. Thompson, noted again the exact jingle of keys at the white woman's waist, which one for the shed, which for the side gate, which might open the world. Girl, Drake bellowed from the yard, wash them sheets. Adira went. The washing shed sat perfectly between house and overseer quarters. She scrubbed linens in lye that burned her hands raw, but her eyes never stopped moving. Lyra arrived mid-morning with laundry. As bundles dropped, a sliver of metal clinked softly. 3 more last night, Lyra breathed, sharp enough to split bone. Adira gave the tiniest nod. Night guard drinks Thursdays, sleeps by 1. They worked in silence after that. Around noon, Zora brought drinking water. 3 taps on Adira's arm. Pause, 2 taps. Information. No words. Trust could kill faster than whips. Afternoon heat, pressed like a hand on the throat. Adira watched the gate guard doze. Watched dogs fed at dusk, bellies full, eyes heavy by dark. Evening meal, cornbread hard as brick, soup thin as regret. Overseers on the porch laughed loud. New batch from Carolina looks strong, Drake said. Got a buyer for the one who lost her whelp, another answered. Drake's laugh carried across the yard. Adira felt Lyra's body coil beside her. Foot pressed foot under the table. Stay. Moon rose fat and silver. In the quarters, usual night sounds. Soft crying, prayers, rustling straw. 3 women lay awake. Hearts beating in terrible harmony. Waiting. Midnight. 3 shadows detached from the quarters. Bare feet on packed earth, silent. Adira first, keys cold in palm. Lyra second, blade hungry. Zora last, unlit torch trembling slightly. They paused at the stable corner. Drake's drunken humming drifted out. Lyra moved. Door creaked. 1 hand over mouth. Blade up under ribs. Twist. Hot flood over fingers. Eyes wide, shock, disbelief. Then nothing. Body dragged behind hay. Torch lit. Breeding shed loomed, black, terrible silhouette. Adira's key turned. Inside, chains empty now, straw dark with old blood, smell of fear and birth and despair thick enough to choke. Zora touched flame to straw. Fire answered, eager, grateful. Blankets, pallets, wood beams. Roar grew. Main house next. Keys fumbled, lock clicked. Inside, carpet swallowed footsteps. Fine furniture threw strange shadows. Upstairs, child coughed in sleep. Lyra, master's mine. Adira, Mrs. Zora, torch high. No one leaves. They separated. Lyra found master's door unlocked, arrogance. Elias Thompson sprawled on silk. Eyes opened. You. Blade. Blood on white sheets. Again, again. Each stroke a name, a face, a child sold. Down hall, Mrs. Thompson ran in nightgown. Adira stepped from shadow. Throat opened clean. Light faded from eyes that had watched so many mothers weep. Zora moved room to room. Curtains caught. Furniture blazed. Carpet smoked. Children woke screaming. Zora's heart cracked, but remembered her own Bobby's torn away. Screams now outside. Fire painted night orange. Figures ran from house, met blades. No mercy. From quarters, shouts of confusion, right arrow, all running feet. Some fled to woods. Some stood, faces lit by inferno, watching prison burn. Overseers rushing in, cut down. Lyra's blade found hearts. Adira's traps blocked doors. Zora's torch turned fine linen to ash. Dawn still distant when the killing stopped. Farm burned like a second sun. Smoke thick, black, rising to heaven, carrying evil away. 3 women stood in yard, blood spattered, soot streaked. Lyra spat on ground, blade still dripping. Satisfaction savage in her eyes. Adira looked at roads, already filling in her mind with catchers. Now we run. Mist thick at swamp edge, ghost fingers on reeds. Dresses heavy with blood. Feet sank in mud. Dogs barked behind, closer. Keep moving, Adira whispered, steadying Zora over fallen cypress. Lyra rear guard, blade ready. Water black still. Cross, hide scent. Cold rose to waists. Insects buzzed. Halfway across, torchlight through trees. Down. Pressed against cypress knees. Submerged to necks. Voices. Tracks this way. Swamp water hides trail. Keep dogs on 'em. Zora lips moved silently. Protect my boy Malik safe. Searchers passed upstream. Women pushed deeper. Sky pearl gray. Smoke column behind them, black scar on dawn. Church bell tolled, hunt call. Town steeples innocent in distance. But terror spreading. Tavern, Sela's Thorn listened. Scarred hands clenched cup. He knew these women. From years ago. When he still oversaw at Hawthorne. Before he became hunter for hire. I'll take it, he said quietly. Half fee, their heads. Deep swamp. Women found screened clearing. Collapsed. Exhaustion absolute. Adira, rest just moment. Lyra paced edge. They'll come. Adira, we need strength. Zora leaned tree, voice hollow. They come, and they will not stop. Sunrise filtered through canopy. Birds sang oblivious. Bell tolled on. Midday, suffocating heat. Clothes clung. Adira bound Lyra's arm, nail tear from escape. Hold still. Lyra eyes on trees. Zora drank murky water, flies everywhere. Better water soon. Adira scouted. Marked path, broken reed here, vine twist there. Found spring, clear, cold. Memorized landmarks. Gathered cattail roots, berries, safe mushrooms. Returned. Lyra set traps, vines ankle-high, branches balanced to crash. Warning at least. Zora sat apart, fingers twisting Spanish moss. Malik would be 7 now, she whispered. They'd say old enough to learn kitchen, old enough for submission. Silence heavy. Lyra fierce. He'll never wear chains, we make sure. Town square, Thorn briefing posse. Pride makes him reckless, needs supplies, shelter. Spitting tobacco. I know they're kind. Dusk. Women watch trapper cabin. Lyra blade to throat. Not a sound. Took blankets, jerky, tinder, cornmeal, hooks. Left him tied. Tell them we took it. Tell them we're not afraid. Deeper swamp, small screened fire. First real food. Meat tough. Water passed carefully. Zora starring flames. Could run north, find way. Lyra, never stop hunting, others pay. Adira stirred coals. We will not just run. Pause. We will strike. Dawn mist, ghostly pillars. Patrol heard first. Boots squelch, curses, dogs whine. 6 men, rifles, 2 dogs straining. Women against cypress, watching. Adira signal. Lyra nod. Zora hand on bark prayer. Breeze stirred mist, perfect cover. 3 short bird calls. Fires lit, multiple points. Smoke thick fast. First trap, vine trip. Rifle fired wild. Birds exploded. Second pit. Scream. Dogs wild. Mist like living thing. Lyra emerged, throat opened. Vanished. They're here. Chaos. Zora branched to skull crack. Last 2 back to back. Devils. Lyra voice from everywhere. We are justice. Swift, brutal. Silence returned. Only women standing. Dogs fled, leashes trailing. Lyra cleaned blade on dead man's shirt. Thorn's men. Adira, he'll take it personal. Lyra grinned fierce. Good. Moved away, confusing trail. Cave hideout, fallen trees, earth. Zora apart, baby blanket scrap in hands. Malik. Adira, safe, Thorn never find. Lyra, we hunters now. Distant shouts, none close. Afternoon, whispers carried on wind. Fire women. Burned farm. Killed masters. Spirits. Stories spreading, field to field, quarters to quarters. Hope kindling. Evening, preparing move. Cave temporary. Erase traces. Lyra last look at blade, stained still. They hunt us, she said softly. But we are the hunters. Cane field, sun dipping. Shadows long. Whitfield porch, 4 overseers laughing, bottles empty. 5th stumbling with drinks. Lyra fingers tight on knife. Celebrating while we bleed. Adira counting. 5 porch, 2 quarters, 1 barn. Zora, so many, can we save them all? Give chance to run, that's enough. Purple sky. Lamps lit. Overseers slurring. Quarters, families eating meager supper. Lyra, now while drunk. Adira waited, guard turned. Now. Through Cain's silent wind. Split. Lyra first overseer, throat while pissing. Blood to roots. Adira quarters, old woman hanging wash. Quick gesture, underground language. Warning spread. Zora barn, garrote silent. Porch chaos. Evening, gentlemen. Turned slow, drunk. Throats opened. Pistol wild, missed. Lyra in chest. Last ran, Adira thrown blade back. House, son screaming. Lyra kicked door. Prayers unanswered. Quarters erupted. Tools became weapons. Rocks. Hose. Torches. Barn blazed. Singing, old spiritual new words. Vengeance, freedom. More buildings caught. Cooking house. Sheds. Overseer cabins. Adira directed. Swamp paths, children first, elderly. Elias, young man from Whitfield. We join you. Lyra clapped shoulder. Welcome to Night Army. Field gathering, whiskey passed. Hugs, tears. Children stared flames, too stunned for fear. Old man whispered. Freedom. Tasted word like water after drought. Zora led prayer, voice rising over crackle. Defiance hymn. Adira watching dark beyond fire. Move, dawn comes. Groups split different paths. Guides, those knowing secret ways. Women last to leave, ensuring all gone. Smoke rose behind. Ash and possibility. Morning, thorn horse through ruins. Dismounted porch. Finger through dried blood. I'll drag their corpses, he promised air. But women already deep swamp, leading new band. Hidden camp, night buzz quiet. Zora on cypress log, blanket scrap, humming lullaby. Adira catalog faces, new scars, old hope. Lyra packing. Maxwell next, weak. Adira, rest first. Elia's crashing through brush, sweat streaked. News from town. Adira sharp, what? Thorn has the boy. Malik. Zora lullaby died. Cloth fell mud. Body turned stone. Then wail, shattered evening. Birds fled trees. Lyra kicked bucket, water spilled dark. I'll get him alive. Adira reading Zora's shoulders. No, don't think it. Have to, my son. Surrender, they kill both. What mother would? Argument circled, vultures over corpse. Zora hardening. Lyra stormed into dark. Night deep, frogs, insects loud. Zora whisper. If Malik dies, all this means nothing. Unity fraying, mother love versus survival. Thorn camp trading post. Malik curled cage, terrified silent. Bait perfect. Shooters trees. Traps north path. He waited. Let them come. Pre-dawn, Adira dirt map. Lyra sharpening, rhythmic scrape. Zora tears silent, blanket heart pressed. Adira. No charge, he expects desperate. Lyra, then what? Patience, smoke, swamp our weapon. To gathered. Not 3 women now, army. Plan born fires multiple, smoke blind. Sinkholes marked, Jacob knew. Vines head high, in smoke invisible. Pits dug, branches weak. Lyra distributed, knives, clubs, few pistols. Strike, vanish, let them think everywhere. Signal, 3 bird calls. Sky graying. Posse approaching, horses snort, chains clink. Malik whimper, thorn yank. Careful bait, mother won't come if damaged. Women crouched, watching. Thorn led, pistol ready. 20 men, hard faces. Mid-morning, muck knee-deep. Curses constant. Smoke rose many points. Fire. Confusion. Trap sprang screams. Smoke blinding. Lyra cry, warrior. Throats. Vanished. Zora branch skull. Rebels harried, hurting sinkholes. Thorn dragged Malik behind tree. Come out witches, or boy dies. Zora from smoke, mother fury. Slammed Thorn. Broke grip. Run Malik to Adira. Boy darted. Thorn knee, stomach. Zora rolled gasping. Rebels hose scythes. Water red. Lyra demon, laugh terrible. Adira commands precise. Bodies piled, mud claimed. Thorn alone, 3 men dead quick. Arrow throat. Others broke, Lyra belly. Adira trap, bone snap. Thorn cypress back. Clothes ruined. Eyes wild. You wanted this, die in mud, that's all. Adira voice left. Only you die today. Shot miss. Lyra right. Planning since you hunted. Shot miss. Zora behind. Since you helped build farm. Voices shifting, disorienting. Thorn spun slipped mud. Moment enough. 3 women converged. Adira shoulder, pistol flew. Lyra slash, shoulder cut. Thorn roll, knife caught Lyra side. Cry pain. Elbow Zora temple stun. Adira fingers eyes, dig deep. Howl. Lyra drove face water, despite wound. Held under. Zora, every child torn. Adira, every body sold. Lyra, every drop blood. Struggles weakened. Bubbles ceased. Mud pulled deeper. Malik scream, edge clearing. Zora splashed, arms out. It's over, baby, over. Boy face and shoulder, sobbing. Adira Lyra, bandage side. Blood seeped. Deep. Had worse. Bound tight. Silence fell, fires low. Bodies settling mud. Nature reclaiming. Night, fires dot water edge. Malik nestled Zora, fingers sleeve thread. Mama dreamed you, free, sunshine, no chains, laughing. Zora lips hair. Not dream anymore, our life. Lyra moss bed, pain tight face. Adira checking bandage. Stop fussing. Infection kills. Malaya, freed earlier herb tea. Grandmother recipe. Survivors gathered, wounds fresh, scars old. Awe in eyes. Now, soft voice. Adira, north when Lyra travels. Murmurs, somewhat stay swamp. Stories spreading, fire women can't kill. Lyra laugh wince. Bleed same. Zora, survived breeding shed, whips, chains, hunters. Stronger. Didn't just survive, fought back. Adira, thought breed animals, instead birthed rebellion. Stories flowed, poison-coated songs, hidden paths. Malaya, they'll tell of you, judgment bringers. Lyra pride quiet. Stories hope, hope weapon. Night deepened. Sleep in groups, watch always. Malik dozed, Zora hummed lullaby. Voices joined, harmony rising smoke to stars. Dawn, North group ready. Lyra insisted walk, supported. Possessions few, weapons, food, medicine. Embraces. Blessings. Those staying, resist on. Those leaving, carry legend. Mist rose, dream landscape. 3 women stood, Malik sleeping shoulder. Entered swamp fugitives, afraid. Left legends, unbreakable. But journey north long. More hunters. More ambushes. More nights hiding. More days teaching new ones, traps, signals, hope. Lyra scar-puckered badge. Malik grew, laughter healing Zora. One border crossing, quicksand decoy, screams fatting. Free soil, Zora knelt, kissed earth. Free. Tears. Settled north, Adira taught reading. Lyra abolition meetings, fists ready. Zora told stories, ensuring fire women lived on. Years later, war clouds gathered. Their tale whispered, rallying cry. 3 who said enough. Who turned sorrow weapon. Who proved, when law whip, justice born rage. And world slowly began change. One link broken at time.